Hello everyone, and this is another tutorial that I'm about to show you. So today I'm in the mood for another video. As you can see, I've been very busy trying to make some improvements to the design layout and the overall feel of this channel. It's a work in progress. I'm not even done, but because I just felt the urge to follow this investigation that I am about to carry on. I just felt like I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to show you a little bit how I dig down the rabbit hole. You know, how I go and search things and stuff like that. So I've never done this before, so you're gonna see how I work. This is we're gonna try to create a rebar. Rebars, I've never really created rebars before in Freecad, but I've had the need to create rebars so often, and every time I've tried it, I've done it sort of the manual way and the let's say the uh, primitive way, so to speak, of modeling, and I failed miserably. Um, so I'm gonna take you to this latest development news from yorik, and this is where I read that for the first time. By the way, I kind of dig his background screen. It's kind of cool. Anyways, so I it's over here. It's the reinforcement bar uh, tool and Freecad architecture module. Um, so it's Bernd and Amritpal Singh, if I'm pronouncing those names correctly, who've been working on. And so I've been always wondering how to create rebar, and so they seem to be have been on something. So I've never really done rebar before, and so basically those links take you to here. So I just immediately clicked on every bit of information that I had to see what's going on. So I have not even read this, so I intend to read this within this tutorial. This is the whole point, because I want to understand everything about how to use the rebar, what's going on, and see how we can test it in Freecad. So probably one of the places to get started would be from reading what's been going on uh, in some of these places with the discussion. Um, let's see, so I can get a bit caught up with the current events, what's going on. I hope I'm not going to be so slow, but this is exactly what I do when I have to understand how to use something. Okay, I put the development. This is where this links takes me here. The development of my river base is here. Also, you can check my development logs regards over here. So everything is well documented. I will include the link to here as well in the video, so you can also go there directly. So June 1st, today officially all my exams are over, and from now on, once I'll give my 100% to the Google Summer project. Okay. I have found a couple shortcoming bugs in my script, and I've shared community bonding period. Also discussed these bugs with my mentor. Yesterday, yorik, my mentor, gave me some suggestion that how to fix these bugs. Today, I was trying to make the logic which will work on any type of reinforcement, and trying to implement that logic through programming. Also explored functions like face, normal, alt, and all that. I don't really understand that. Today I designed the task panel UI user interface of straight rebar in Qt Creator by using Freecad widget. That's interesting. The task panel user interface full values, front cover, slide side cover, button cover, diameter, amount spacing. Okay. Today I have integrated a task panel user interface straight rebar with backend scripts. This will take input values from task panel and then pass the input values functions will create reinforcement of straight rebar in the structural element. For more details, see here my commit. That's good. Today I have shared my script to the mentor for review. Here are a few reviews. Let's look at that. Where is that? Okay, so it's still part of that of this page we're going to look at that. Um, Today I have learned that how to add an image in the dialog box using PySide. For example, I simply added QLabel objects at the top of the dialog box using Qt Creator and then use command to add button image. Also followed some links tutorials to learn Inkscape. Okay, fill all the values. Okay. Diameter. Okay. So what's different? The dialog box. Okay, picture maybe. Okay, today I have added checks to my Python code. These checks will verify that user have elected the face or not, and if only user have selected the single face, then only rebar object is created. Okay. Discuss approach with structural engineering. Find the right way to create reinforcement in structural element. Okay. Not done much. Finalize what has done till now and made a planning for things coming in the next week. Discussed following things with yorik. How to get previous values when reinforcement is created. When a user wants to re-edit the current reinforcement, add properties to the rebar object. Constraint the sketch of the rebar object. How we can check the given sketch is rectangular or not. Okay. June. Okay. Understanding function property present functions present in a file. Add support when structural element is derivated from sketch object. Okay. Solve the issue related to the placement of rebar. For example, rebar position was not at correct position when structural element not located at origin. So fix this problem. I have subtracted placement vector of structural element to the coordinated rebar sketch. Defined functions refactored by code by creating the separate file uh, Urban Fancy. This file contains basic functions which we'll use for creating type of reinforcement in the future. Um, okay. Send pull request to Freecad master detail of PR define custom function set property rebar shape. Okay, this function will add property to the instance of view provided bar rebar class as per according to the rebar shape. Okay, what? This is interesting. Sent pull request to Freecad master detail of PR defined custom function property rebar in the view provide rebar class. This function will add properties to the rebar to the instance of view provided rebar class as according to the rebar shape. Okay, I'm looking forward to look at that. Uh, wrote code so that the user will re-edit the rebar through rebar dialog box. To implement this, I have defined two new methods and edit dialog box, edit straight rebar in the straight rebar, remove minor bugs, okay, fix bug and add comments in straight rebar part, unimproved of user interface of dialog box of straight rebar and also set tab order on input fields of straight rebar dialog box. Today a whole a whole I was suggesting to find the reason behind why Rebar created in the wrong direction when users set an option remove external geometry. A base sketches when needed in the arc preference. Finally, I found the reason behind this bug and then fix it. Okay. Bug fix when user created reinforcement more than one time on the same structural element. Rebar was not created at origin position. Discuss with yorik on IRC that where we can add properties of rebar, and then after discuss I am added all the properties to a specific rebar shape as per according to rebar shape, creating the user dialog box for user shape rebar. Also wrote a code for creating a U-shape rebar. Okay, that's good. Implementing property top cover and U-shape rebar instead of bent length. Made an icon for U-shape rebar and also improved straight icon rebar. That's pretty good. I like that. Added two Freecad commands, arc rebar straight, arc rebar U-shaped in the rebar tool. Changed it title window heading of the dialog box. Used standard buttons instead of custom buttons. Uh, Assigned task which I will complete in the coming week. Added checks when sketch support is empty. Um, Learned how to constrain uh, internal angle between two lines. Added comment to code. Discussed about license with yorik. Create a user interface of dialog box of stirrup shape rebar. Experimenting how to create non-planar rebar because current FreeCAD reinforcement system is fully dependent on Sketch, which is strictly based on 2D. Experimenting how to create non-planar rebar. Yes, this is great because current FreeCAD reinforcement system is fully dependent on Sketch, which is strictly based on 2D. Then found a solution to create non-planar rebar by passing wire may be planar or non-planar to arc make rebar function. Also found some bugs which will come by using wire profile to create rebar. Discussed about old and new properties of rebar object like distance and direction properties and implement on rebar object with yorik. The right formula to get points when length and angle is given. Root code of stirrup Python file. Discussed doubts regarding stirrups with yorik. Okay. Learned all the mathematical concept of stirrups and derivative formulas to find rounding lengths. Mhm. Today I have passed my first evaluation and got some good comments from my mentor. I have wrote the code for stirrups rebar. Here are the few screenshots of stirrup created from my code. Okay. Okay. Refactoring the existing code by added two separate functions which calculates points of straight and U-shaped rebar. Added license to all the files. Read the codes of task thickness CPP file. Oops. How do I read codes? I do not know how to read codes. Okay, introduce new property, bend factor property in stirrup, discussed about bar distribution, implemented pick select face button, but in all rebar shape, updated function according to Yuri comment on master on FreeCAD master, introduced new custom spacing property rebar object, send PR to Freecad master and yorik, merge my PR, added peak face selected, nice, all of that is nice and great. So I am going to see this here. I'm not going to read all of that, it's going to take some time, so I'm going to quickly run through what's going on. Okay, looks good so far. I'm duplicating below the screenshot from the post so it's easier to discuss here. Okay, I have used some constant in my code like user selected rebar along length, then the sketch will be drawn on face of the structural element. I have used some constant, I'm not sure what that is, in my code, like if a user selected rebar along length, then the sketch will be drawn on face. Sketch will be drawn on face of structural element, and if the user select rebar along width, then the sketch will be drawn on face 6. But due to topological naming problem, phase 1 always not along the length of the structural element in the same phase 6. I believe the best way to is to make the user pick a phase himself, as this can be confusing. The user might be in doubt what phase needs to be picked. You could add a little SVG diagram on the on the top of the dialog to illustrate what he needs to do, a bit in the same style of the diagrams in the arc structure concrete prefab presets. Let's look at that, and let's open a new document. Arc in the arcs. Uh, you could add a little diagram, a little SVG diagram on top of the dialog to illustrate what needs to do, a bit in the same style as the diagrams in the arc structure concrete prefab. Arc structure concrete prefab. Uh, okay, so he's referring to this here. Diagrams or concrete prefab. So an easy way would be to maybe add such a diagram. How are your drawing skills? It's so funny. and you selected face button. When clicking the button, you check if face is currently selected with GUI and all that stuff. Okay. I have defined things like the origin of the sketch will locate on the left side of the face and center. Da, da, da. Okay. I don't think the placement origin is really important, but uh, it is doable. Once you have a face, you could simply take the center of mass attribute and its normal direction, normal at. With these two things, you can get the center point and a rotation. The app dot rotation object has several useful construction methods. One is by giving it a from and two vectors. Then you set the placement of your sketch from these two things. You must create a new placement, then give that placement to the sketch. Interesting. Other comments I have. Bernd should have a look at your dialogues above to see if he thinks it's right. I'm not proficient enough in reinforcing bars to judge. I'm only a simple architect. Instead of simple Q-line edit fields, you should use the Freecad GUI input fields, which support units, expressions, etc. This should normally be in your Q designer if you compile the Freecad plugin for it. Otherwise, you can also add them from the Python code after you loaded the user interface, the .ui file. Okay. Had a quick, I had a quick test. So far, so good. I think you're attacking things the correct way. At the end, we should have a series of these Python scripts plus user pairs, each one addressing certain types of rebar. A code observation specifically on the task panel straight rebar. A couple of observations specifically on the task panel straight rebar. Some imports are missing. Import Freecad, Freecad GUI, and import part. Attention here, there's a catch. Freecad and a Freecad user are lightweight because they are loaded at the Freecad start anyway. Um, Part, however, is heavyweight module. It loads good part of the OCC libs, so we try in Freecad to avoid loading part and at Freecad start. The solution is not to import part at the start of the file because when your tools will become official Freecad tools, these files will probably be loaded at startup. But inside the function where you need part, even if that means there will be multiple import parts in the same file, that doesn't harm. Python will only load it once away. The path to the UI file can be found automatically. You first need to rename the UI file with the same name as the .py file, but it's good practice anyways. os.path okay. Putting all your real code instead of a try statement is a bad practice. Put all your real code inside a try statement is a bad practice. It makes it more difficult to trace the cause of the problem. For example, on first run, I was able to get the script tell me done. However, nothing was done. To me, it is better to remove the try statement entirely and let the script fail when needed. It will be much better to fix its weakness as they appear and make it more solid. 4. It is not obvious to the user that at all that all she needs to select a face of a structural element before running the script and it fails silently. Without informing the user, should ask you should at least check when the script starts. Let's see. Okay. You should at least check when the script starts. If the selection contains what you want, even better, you and your user interface, the selected face could appear and a way to change the selected face could be offered. A simple use select faces button maybe. There could be a small image illustrating what face should be picked too. I'll try to make one for you. 5. The radio button amount spacing are both unselected at the script startup. I would set one selected as default. 6. It is not clear in which unit the diameter is expressed. Now I have another more general idea that is more for the long term, but it would be good to add at some point, I think. Uh, it would be good at it would be good that if the user created a rebar object with one of two of your dialogues, um, it would be possible to edit that rebar later with the same dialog box. To achieve that, we could do something like this. One, we add a hidden property to the rebar, for example, X UI module, which contains the name of the script used to produce the rebar, for example. In all your script, there should be the same function. You must make sure that given the rebar object, that function would be able to fill the dialog with correct values again. You should also change the correct script so if it is possible to import it without running anything. When double clicking a rebar object, If the UI module property contains something, the corresponding module is important and its edits dialog function is run. You must modify the accept function. So if an existing rebar is provided, change its properties as needed instead of creating a new one. How does that sound? Okay, something like this. What is this? Open file. Okay, that's what it means. I still have problems running your script. Even selecting a face, I couldn't make it create a rebar yet. It finishes, says done, but there's an empty sketch created in the dialog. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now let's try to fast forward into the future and see what happened. There's a lot of transformation that happened. Let's try to come back a few tabs back in the past. See what we can catch up in terms of um, how far they are. See, I'm a picture guy. I like to see a lot of picture too going along with the text. So uh, pictures are interesting as well. Okay, so probably I'm going to, if I'm already by the second page, I'm going to probably have to read everything because it seems that everything's been going step by step here. It's good. I'll add more description that in image that will like what is front cover da da da. Okay. Now I've updated the script. There's one more thing in the module only exists in the console macro environment. You should use Freecad instead. I still cannot seem to make your script run. Da da da. Okay. About the system I explained above, to make it possible to edit the rebar with one of your script, the idea is to add app property string to the rebar. Interesting. And then in the same view provider function. Okay. Already fixed it. Now I have to update my code. Da da da. Da da da. Okay, now it works. Okay, a couple minor issues left. Okay. The graph must be a DAG. Uh, this happens probably because the sketch depends on the structure. This happens because the sketch depends on the structure. Then the rebar on the sketch, then the structure on the rebar, it, it is added to its attribute properties. There is an arc preference setting to define how to deal with that problem. Removing the sketch support and or creating an additional structure. This is not really something you need to take care of for now. Okay, the dialog is not closed after your script finishes. I think you might need to call that somewhere. Okay, in continuation of this discussion, following this problem statement, creating reinforcement with this script in the structure element is actually quite tedious task for a structural engineer. For example, if a user wants to create reinforcement in the footing, then she has to select the face number of times. Like to create a rectangular footing mesh, a user has to select face two times or run my script two times. Further, footing may have a top mesh which requires further selection of face two times more. IMO. If we can make our approach more natural to workflow of a structural engineer, then we can win a heart of a structural engineer, which I agree. On brainstorming with structural engineer, they suggested that to take all the data of the footing from the user in the beginning through the form and then process all the values. I think this process is good mm, as compared to the current approach at yorik and Ben. What are your views on my suggestion above? I think you have both something simple. I think you can have both Something simple with presets, or let the user fine-tune things and select himself the exact face to build things on. In other words, we should of course make things simpler for newer user, but this should never restrict the possibility of the power of the for the power user, which I agree as well. Basically, you could detect what input above you have. If you have a structure, look at its base shape. If the base shape is solid, then it will be hard to apply the presets because that solid could be anything. If the structure has a base shape, but that shape, uh, but but that base shape is flat, only face slash wires, um, no solid. You already know that the final shape is formed by extruding that. You might be able to automate something if there's no shape. If there's no base shape, then the shape of the structure is defined by length, width, height. Then you can certainly automate much more. I think in the last case, you might be able to automate quite a lot and let the power user do things more manually in the other cases. Okay, number one. This plus a system of upgrade downgrade between the two could easily become the mantra for everything we do in Freecad. And note that the preset simple things workflow is made good enough can be very useful also for power users. Indeed, it can limit you in the freedom of for the design, but it can help you work fast and consistently by some standards. Yorik, I have sent PR, pull request as I think that's what it means. Okay, hi Yurik. I think I should first complete the cycle of one rebar by adding it to the arc workbench. All right. Da-da-da. Okay, I commented on the IRC and the PO regarding adding new features to the arc. I would suggest the following: we add your repo to the Freecad add-on repo. You should fill the description field on your GitHub repos so that it appears on the add-on manager You script straight rebar, uh, you a shape rebar, etc. must become freecad command. A tool rebar making such a command easy. It's basically a class like this. I wonder if the rebar is already on. Let's see. Um, X that. Create a reinforcement bar from the selected. Let me see. Um, so I'm gonna pretend I have a structure. This structure. This is just the way I naturally investigate things. I'm just very curious just to see if out of the blue like that I can make something by just okay, so if I select this, it doesn't. Please select if a base face, cancel that, select rebar. Please select a base face on a structural object. Let's say this is my base face. Okay. Select the method to attach this sketch to the face. Flat face. Let, let's go for that now. A dialog is already open in task panel. Do you want to close it? Where's the dialog? Yes. Okay, so you want me to draw. I'm going to draw one, and I'm going to draw two like this. And let's see what happens. Close. Okay, now what? Arc. architecture. Okay, select that. Please select a base face on a structural that. Okay. Select the method to attach this sketch. No. Okay, then what? All I see is the sketch. Sketch 1, sketch 2. A dialog box is okay, something strange. Okay, so this sketch does not show, so delete that. And this one, okay, that didn't work. Let's go back. Let's try that again. A dialog box is open. What is the dialog box open? Oh, it's down here. But it doesn't have any other option. Okay, let's try that again. I will select the base face, do that. Okay, flat face, great. I will draw my line, great. Okay, good. Now, close, and it says rebar. Okay, let's see what kind of rebar I have here. My column is very big. Let me make it small. Zoom. Mhm. I'm gonna change it 0 0.2, 0 0.2. Okay, so we made a rebar. So let's try that again, just so I understand what happened. Let me go to top view, front. Okay, so this is my column. We're gonna make it maybe 3 meters tall, or maybe one. Send the sketch there. Okay, let's try that. Select the base sketch. Uh, do that. Do that. Select flat face. Now, let's try this. Why are you snapping here? That's not what I want you to do. Okay. I don't want you to snap there. How do you control this? No. Close that. Amazing. this is great. So now, if that is the basics, let's try something else. I'm going to make this column slightly transparent. Transparent, transparent 80, like that. If I do that, and I want to, let's pretend that I have this face that I want to draw there, like this, and I want to put some rebar in this fashion, like this, and then I'm gonna put some radius to this thing. Hold on, let me first see if there is a sub menu after you've created a rebar. Nope, it doesn't seem to edit. Edit. No edit. So how do you access that? You have a lot of information in the data. I will look at that again. So select that. Let's say we give it a fillet radius 1, 10, something visible 20 or 30, like that. Okay, so that's that. I want to turn that into make face false. Um, okay. So, previously the sketch was dependent on the sketch. So if I select that now, I go to the architecture, select that face, draw this rebar, select flat face. Great. So it gives me, I select that. I cannot see that, that. Okay. So now I can basically select all these lines. Copies the geometry to another sketch. Copies the geometry to another sketch, or no, you didn't change. I want to convert you. This is a new tool. Extend an edge with respect to the picked position. I'll try that. Uh, Toggles the toolbar or selected geometry. Maybe this is what I'm looking for. Toggles the toolbar or select constraints from reference mode. No, that is not it. Let's see. Close. No, it didn't draw. Once you do that, you're supposed to be able to draw. This snap thing is driving me insane. How do you turn it off? Why is it doing that? Okay, so that's where my sketch is. Where is my initial sketch? I want I want this face as my working plane. Now this sketch, let's try that again. Okay, something is strange here. Auto switch. What is up with these constraints that they always snap? Okay, I'm going to do Freecad snap um Freecad sketch snaps. uh don't know. I wonder if settings preference rather. I'm looking for snaps. Anything concerning snaps. Maybe it's auto constrain. Apply. Okay, let's try that. No, no, no. That is not what it was. Oh boy. This is one of those things that you have to search because without it you cannot move on. Segment per constraint. So this is a pain of the person who wants to figure things out. Um, Geometry constraint, constraint creation, hide all objects, apply to existing sketch. Show grid. Avoid redundant constraint. No. I kid you not. Preference. One more time. No, it did not change. Maybe it's grid snap. Let's show grid. Undo that. Apply. Okay. Okay, so why exactly is this trying to snap on the edge? Let me try to just draw a surface that I am going to also convert there, and I am going to try to do a sketch. Okay, so you see it's not trying to snap here. But it's obviously going to snap on the grid, but what is going on? Delete that and delete this. Some strange effect happened here as well. Okay, I'm gonna start a new document. Close without saving. Let's start a new document. Architecture. A new drawing. And I'm just gonna pretend it's a regular. We're gonna make it 0.2 m. A 0.3. Okay. Build that into a structure. Okay, so that's our column. Now I want to add this flat face, attach. Okay, so it's creating this center point, but that center point is not the center of my drawing. So let me try it on the side. Close that. Top view. Actually, top view. Another one. Structure. Flat face. Okay. Something strange. Why is it always locking? Uh, why is it locking the sketch on this side rather than on this side? It does not make sense to me, but whatever. Okay, so now I'm going to draw my sketch here. Okay, close that. Now I do not have a okay, let's try that here. Maybe it's because I do not have I have unconnected lines. Let me delete this and delete this and close that. No, it didn't work. What about you? Uh, preference, sketcher, creates, apply, okay. Okay. Let's see. Architecture. Delete this. Start from fresh. Flat face. Okay. Draw one line. Finish. Close. Okay. I have. Okay. So now that works. Uh, select this face. Architecture. Select this face. Face. Okay. Close that. Make this transparent. Take a screenshot. Another one. Current window. Select current window. Okay, so far so good. We've got something. So architecture, flat face, and okay. Now close that. So far, so good. So far, so good. Now I wonder if I can change the sketch. You and you will give me create a fillet. So far, so good. So far, so good. I would like to play some music. Okay, so far, so good. Okay, so far, so good. Now, let's try something else. Another rebar face. So this time we will try with, let's say, mm, we will try we will try B-spline. Whoa, this is epic news, man. Epic news. This is epic news. The fact you can do splines with this thing like this, I have to. Okay. And one more test. architecture, flat face, and this time around I want to try this other one, the periodic B-spline. The periodic B-spline. Alright, well, probably okay, so let me update this into the GitHub into GitHub. I'm gonna save as I'm gonna save it as Freecad Rebar test tutorial. Save that. And what else am I gonna do? I'm gonna put it in its right folder. Okay. Okay, so that'll be a Freecad YouTube tutorial. File save as graphic. Freecad YouTube. Freecad YouTube. Rebar test tutorial. Okay, save that. And now I'm also going to save with the picture. Freecad YouTube example. Okay, pictures. Give me that. All right, so let's see here. This is where we are. I'm going to open rep. So these are the files, so I'm going to commit. Rebar tutorial. And I'll say a rebar crash at what do you call that? Periodic B spline. B spline by control. By command in workbench. All right, commit. There you go. What is it again? Authentication failed. What's going on? Okay, but maybe also probably it would be good to take this picture. Select picture. Okay, that's good. And also I want to take a screenshot without that. That's beautiful. You can do that, you know. Cancel that. Take a current window picture. Okay, save all of that. Push. Oh, finally. Freecad. Okay. So I was thinking that it's probably because of closed faces that it doesn't work. So I'm going to try another one again. So do that. Select this face. Select face. Okay. And let's see what happens if I draw a closed polyline like this. Close. Looks like Freecad is frozen. Oh boy. It looks like Freecad is frozen. I can't click on anything. I'm gonna give it a few more seconds, and if it's not, I'm going to close it and open another Freecad session. Okay. Not willing to cooperate. Force quit. I want another Freecad. Cancel the recovery manager. All right. We are back online. Okay, so probably that it does not create but now I wonder if you can change the sketch. Come to the data, map mode, false, label sketch. No option to change sketch or replace sketch. It's not there anyways. So okay. Alright, so no option. It would be cool if we could just select and change the sketch, but let's leave that for now and then look at this other one. I'm curious to see what are the extra options that are available. Okay, so if you select that, these are the normal sketch information, but this one, what do we have in the data? We have the amount, so let's go to 2 or 3. All right, perfect. Jesus, oh my god, this is so sweet. Okay, so you've got the amount, you can control the amount. Go with 5. You can, oh my god, this is amazing. Now diameter, I'm gonna go with 4. Diameter, what can I do about it? Yes, I can control the diameter. The offset, and I want it to be at 2. Oh my god. And 2. Oh my god. This is an incredible transformation. Spacing, the spacing between the bars. So let me see, if I increase this 5, does the spacing also change? Yes, it does change. If I go to 7, yes. So now if I change it manually, I go to 30, what happens? So I cannot input directly because the spacing is dependent on the amount. Spacing is dependent on the amount. So probably shouldn't have a function. Discard tag. Okay. The Rebar is great, man. This tool is amazingly sweet. So let's go back to, let's say, delete 6. Okay. Ain't we in business? I think we are. Save that and file save. Okay, now what next? What else can I do with that? What about here? Flat lines, the normal IFC property structure, move with false and true. So now what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to move this structure to see if the sketch the to see if everything moves with it. I'm gonna first copy because I know that Freecad has some issue with the undo button. Copy, yes, paste. So I'm gonna hide the initial version. So right there you can see it doesn't hide the rebar. Oh, okay, so clearly it didn't copy with the rebar. So if I were to move this sketch, go to top view, move the sketch, okay, so these guys did not move with the sketch as expected, but these are the guys who their sketch was associated. Okay, let's try something else. Bring that back. And then move this like this. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a copy. Like this. Make this one also transparent. I'm going to put a face there and I am going to select that. This time, instead of saying flat face, I'm going to say don't attach. Sketch orientation. Let's see. I'm going to say Z and X. Z and X. No. Undo that again. Architecture, sketch. Okay, don't attach. The ZX plane again. Alright, I do not know. Sketch along ZX. No. Sketch on don't attach. Sketch mode face. Doesn't work. Okay, so let's see if it's that which does not work or if it's what. Instead of saying don't attach, I'm gonna say flat face. Once again, I'm gonna try my crazy junkie da 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 da. Enter. Okay, so it's truly the don't attach mode that does not work. So we can save that. And then I'm gonna take a picture. Gonna take that picture, the don't attach mode. Don't attach. Save that and export on GitHub. GitHub. Commit. Don't attach plane. Does not generate rebar. I'm sure that you know, the developers that are coding it right now, you know, they probably did not yet have time to create that, but I'm just documenting this as an exercise to get used to this process. So I'm going to hide this. Okay, so let's try the next one. I'm going to be on this face. Select that. I want to try the next option. Flat face. Okay, yes. So now I want to, let's just do the same thing again. Okay. Hahaha. I've created a double crash scenario. File save. Double crash. Okay, so now let's try. So the process that I used here, which created this crash, is that I came here. Hold on. Select so the process that created this crash was that um, I okay, so let's say I'm gonna go back to the architecture and I'm going to go to the top like this. So now I'm going to create a rectangle like this and then create a structure, and I'm going to create two of them. Copy. Okay, so this is the part. So this is the way that it seems to work so far. I have to first select the face and then the structure, and then it tells me to select the flat face like this, and now I can go in and draw my sketch how I want it. And then when I click close, that's when it generates the rebar. um but if I were to do it the other way, that is, I come to the architecture and I select the rebar first, and then select the face. It tells me flat face, and then do you want to close this dialog? Yes. And so here now if I were to do the same thing, do that, finish, close. So it's taking a bit of minute, it's thinking. Okay, so here we can see it created an error. So that's just something I wanted to show about the the workflow, the steps you have to do to get there. So I'm going to yeah, yes. Okay, so let's continue. So the rebar. So let's say deactivate it now. No. Let me select that face. Okay. Now I want to deactivate it. Okay. So deactivated me takes me on top. I'm not sure why. So it says deactivated. So deactivated, this is what deactivated does. Okay. So let's continue. So let's say this time around I select the rebar and then select that face and then flat face deactivated. Okay. Yes. Takes me up again. I'll do the same thing. Finish. Close that. And obviously same problem. Okay, so now let's move on. So let me select that face again, select the rebar, and it's not inertial CS. Okay. Takes me on the side again. Close that, finish. Okay, this time it generated. Alright, perfect. Um mhm, mhm. Okay, so do that again. So architecture. No, so this time we select the rebar, select the face, inertial. Let's try this time. Close that. Take a moment to load. Okay. So obviously that's a small problem, but the basics already seem to be working. We are at least having some positive results that we can start to work with, which is amazingly fantastic. So next thing I'd like to see is how this reads on drawing sheet. So let me create a section. Section. And another section. Auto XY. I'll bring you slightly down. Position. I'll say 0.5. Whoa. What happened to my section? Bring that back and add a section. .5 m. Okay. So in that structure, I'll select everyone. No, this structure. No, so what I'm going to do is I'm first going to select just the structure and tell it to come inside this section, add. So now click here and generate the section. Generate another one, a second one. Move that to the side so we can analyze what was going on. So obviously it didn't read the so another note is that the rebar does not get seen or does not get does not get seen or thought of as to be inside the volume when section is applied. In other words, it doesn't behave, for example, like the door or the window would behave inside a wall that it can read and stuff like that. So that means that you have to manually go inside and add. No. Shift. Control. No, not that one. This one. And then add. But then I don't want the structure, so I control deselect that, maybe deselect that, and so now I see add. Okay, so now we can see the cut, but what about the projection? So go to the data. So here we will see that's the one below, this is the one above. What if we see cut lines? Cut lines and cut faces. Okay. Individual faces, it's solid. Alright, so it also doesn't work well with projection. Section projection. Let me try it from the side. The view. of view. I'll move this here and I'll see if I can read. Control, add the button, and now generate me what I want. So just as expected, it doesn't read stuff very well. Okay, save picture. Okay, so that's that. What else can we do with this? What else can we try to do with it? If I click here, what are the options? Let me see if I'm not missing something else from here. Okay, so where were we? Okay, when it is installed, the arc workbench will now detect it on load and add it to the toolbar. Okay. Astonishing, I have tested my scripts on different OS, Linux, Windows, and both OS, as it works well. I drew some icons from the to command. What do you think? Let's look at this. Okay. Let's create U-shaped rebar addon. So there's an icon for the rebar that I missed. Oh, this was I'm not sure I saw that icon. This is the only icon I saw. Unless I am missing something. Okay, well. Function.python, One way to attack the problem could be to add function on every other change of children placement too, but there might be problem with this idea. Some of the objects children might not want that they move. For example, the base sketch will not change once say dresses that moves only with the children. But there's a more interesting mechanism, which is that a sketch or any other 2D object stays attached to the face of this object, so there would be no need to change any placement. This could work for rebars in Windows, for example. The problem is that the mechanism creates circular dependencies in arc object, but I thought of a way to get rid of the circular dependency entirely. which is instead of having host subject keep the relationship let's have the children keep the relationship to which the host is part. This would bring a little bit of hassle on one, for example, would need to query its children each time to find out which window is included in it. I think it's worth it. It would allow us to use all kinds of attachment systems to Freecad, the Freecad, the systems the Freecad has, external edges, its sketches, etc. Alright. Very good. Just tested it right now. This is a very good use of a non-planar rebar. Spacing. A couple small improvements I like to suggest, not critical, not urgent. Add the diagram that appears inside the task panel to a warning message that pops when try to run one of the tools without seeing select interface. That will help the user to choose the right phase before launching the tool. Maybe you want to be able to use the default queue message box for that, and you need to create a custom dialog. Allow the users to change the selected phase once the text dialog is running, for example. Okay. I think before tagging on the rebar distribution, we should first define how the user will give input to the rebar distribution. I have an idea regarding rebar distribution that we should add a property to the rebar object that will take an input specific format like 5 at 100, 2 at 200, which means that we have 12 rebars and spacing between first 5 rebars and 100 spacing. I think you need to separate the questioning to how to store that custom spacing information and the object to, and how to make it nicely editable by the user. That's true. I think your proposal response okay when you simply store that in a property string, but the user yeah. Check arc structure concrete presets pillar added the system to add dent. You can do something like that. Arc axis also has such an editable list made in a different way. You can edit the values directly in the list, but that does not need to happen inside the task panel. Okay, what's going on here? Another one came in mind. Sometimes I use a wrong input on a pressing. Okay, there's an error message, but that one has to do all again, and apply button would be cool. If some input is wrong, one changes just and then press the presets. Alright. Hi Baron. Here the installation step 1 of Freecad addon tool manager. Reinforcement. Okay. Okay, any objects that could be used, space, architecture, structure. As far as I know, object holds the shape, but yorik does know this better than me. Made some small rebar tests. Attached the file of a simple column rebar. No special stuff here. I did it. I'm quite happy because there's no open source software around doing this. I just would need a small material build, and I could be using the real world. We really need to attract the material. It is a simple material part of the project too. I cannot exactly remember. I had the same problem with Shakri. Okay. I took the 15 minutes, less than. I ended up having crazy Freecad, the tree was 9 structural objects and 5 rebar. For me, this stirrup intersects see touch screen. I would rather let there be 1 millimeter or two air between them, just to be sure that to have an intersection. But to the rebar, I also okay. I think that's about it for the most part. Um, but what I'm not sure about is how they created the loops. I'll find out later. Alright guys, so I think I'm going to slow down here for now. I think I'm going to try to do a more serious quick demo which puts together all this information in a concise way, and because this was a very lengthy discovery, not everyone will be interested to find out what's going on. So I think it would be good to create a shorter version of this whole browsing, because I learned quite a few things about the Rebar tool and I need to see how to implement it myself. But I think that when I get down to that process, I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So I hope you liked it. I hope you were able to discover and enjoy and appreciate how Freecad is. Leave me some comments, tell me what you think, and let me know what I can make better. As you can see, I'm always improving, looking for ways to improve, so just let me know. Thank you again, and catch you later guys.